The Eagles have been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 7 years. And if they had won all 3, which they nearly did, they'd be called a dynasty. With one distinct caveat. They would have done it with 3 serviceable backup quarterbacks, essentially. And yes, this includes Jalen Hurts. How soon we forget it was Jalen Hurts who needed to transfer after being benched for Tua. And yes, Tua is more talented. I don't believe for 1 second that Tua couldn't have won a Super Bowl or 2 with that exact same Eagles team. Nor do I believe Jalen Hurts would even start the full season anywhere else but Philadelphia. Now, this doesn't mean I dislike Jalen. I think he's a great young man. He seems very personable and grounded as a human being, but my position stands. On his talent level, and why I believe he is all the proof needed as to why the quarterback position is increasingly overvalued. So how does this tie to Tom Brady, you ask? Well, again, how soon we forget. By some estimates, Tom Brady left over $100 million on the table in contract money to surround himself with talent. Even in his last Super Bowl year, his cap hit was $27 million less than what it would have been if he took full market value. Meaning Tom Brady almost certainly doesn't win a Super Bowl without doing that. And Mahomes is the unrivaled GOAT of quarterbacks with 4 Super Bowls. Like I said, once again, even Tom Brady proves that bloated quarterback contracts destroy teams' chances of winning long term. Something we'll probably witness as a consequence of Jalen Hurts' contract too. They're probably going to lose key defensive players that truthfully won the Super Bowl for them by being able to pressure Mahomes without blitzing. If you watch that Super Bowl, they were able to get pressure up the middle and off the edge without blitzing. That's unheard of. And that is really the only way you beat Mahomes. The Kansas City Chiefs couldn't even get past midfield. Again, Jalen Hurts was not the difference maker. It was that defense. And just because he wins Super Bowl MVP doesn't mean anything, man. If you're the quarterback, you throw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, they just almost give you the MVP by default. Unless a running back or somebody does something extreme in the Super Bowl, the quarterback's going to get the MVP. That's just how it works. But I digress. How soon we forget Carson Wentz in the MVP caliber season that was shortened by injury, right? You guys remember Nick Foles taking over and leading that same team to a Super Bowl win? Well, guess who they did it against? The Patriots and the quarterback who takes pay cuts, Tom Brady. And then just 5 years later, they would return to the Super Bowl with a quarterback on a rookie contract and barely lose to the true GOAT of quarterbacks, Mahomes, who wins Super Bowls while taking full market value. So here's my overall point. Once the championship dynamics of the Eagles changes, Jalen Hurts will fare no better than Nick Foles, no better than Carson Wentz, who I believe is more talented than Jalen Hurts. And honestly, good for Jalen Hurts for getting paid, but it's going to sting the Eagles in the end. Because I don't believe for 1 second that Jalen Hurts goes anywhere else and even becomes a regular starter, let alone has success. That's just what I believe, man. I know it's not popular. I know he's the belle of the ball when it comes to ESPN and all those channels that if you say the right thing politically, they think it translates into talent. But anyway, as far as Brady goes, there's a significant chance he's not the unrivaled GOAT of quarterbacks without taking those significant pay cuts. So in closing, man, what I'll say is that both are realistically proof that the quarterback position is a grossly overcompensated position comparatively, given the long-term outcome and the teams that have been able to win Super Bowls without a bloated quarterback contract, and the quarterback contracts that have been albatrosses over the necks of teams that have prematurely given quarterbacks who are on great teams bloated contracts, and it's hurt the team long term. So like I said, both Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady are prime examples of why these bloated quarterback contracts don't necessarily translate into long-term success. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening.